Hey, adventurers! Welcome back to another adventure with Ace Chap. I'm Amanda, and today's adventure is all about My Way. Since it is Monday, we're going to be talking about My Way Monday, and today is a special edition with my oldest son, Major, and how we deal with certain things that arise with him. So come on this adventure with us today. So for this My Way Monday video, I'm going to talk about my eldest, Major, who has high-functioning autism. If you are not aware, my husband and I have 3 kiddos. Major is 11, Harper is 9, and Wrecker is 6. And all 3 of our kiddos receive some kind of service from school. So Major he goes to a little social skills group and works on certain aspects there. Harper, our 9-year-old daughter, she has like a visual learning processing disorder, but basically she can take information in her brain, but sometimes has a hard time processing the information to get it back out and relay the answer. And then our youngest, Wrecker, is 6, and he has been going to speech since he was about 2 years old, and will continue to go for a while, I'm sure. And so we are very aware and very in tune with different services in the school and how that looks for all kids. I am also a teacher. I teach pre-K and I teach ESCS, which is a special needs classroom inside of our pre-K classroom. So we have regular ed students intertwined with some special needs kiddos in our PPCD classroom. So again, very aware of all different aspects and different things going on. Am I an expert? Absolutely not. Will I ever claim to be? Absolutely not. Autism has a very broad range. Major is a high-functioning autism kid, which means that if you were to walk up on Major, you might never know that he had autism. A lot of our family and friends that have been around him several times, when they find out he has autism, they're like, "What? I wouldn't have guessed that." And honestly, you might not unless you are around him all the time. You might pick up on a few quirks here and there, but overall, he can function very well in everyday society. So, a little bit of backstory about him. I started to suspect, again, being a teacher, that he might be showing signs of autism when he was around 2 years old. He got very obsessed with one thing and one thing only. So for example, he is obsessed with the movie Cars. In his entire bedroom, everything he played with, everything he talked about, everything he listened to was Cars. I would come in to him playing, and he would have cars in perfect triangles all over the house. And that was I remember very vividly walking into his playroom and just seeing triangle shape, like he had taken 3 cars, put them in triangles all over the floor. And I thought, and I just remember that being my first thought, was like, okay, maybe we're seeing something here. He's not one to look you in the eye a lot, so especially when he's in trouble. If he's in trouble, and just as a mom and just as a person that was brought up in the South from a very we have manners, and this is what we're going to do, being very respectful. It's definitely that's been my biggest thing with him, because that's a sign of respect to me, is looking me in the eye when I'm talking to you. And I've had to change my mindset a lot with Major and realize he's not doing it to be disrespectful. He just can't. He can't look you in the eye, especially when he's in trouble. And so a lot of things I've had to change my mindset on, which I think helps me grow in so many areas and be so much more aware of all the different things around us. So as I was saying, he gets very obsessed with certain things, even to this day. Now, he's able to broaden his horizons a little bit. When he was younger, it was that one thing and one thing only. So like I said, cars, then we transitioned to dinosaurs, and that kid, he can tell you everything about any dinosaur that you want to know, because I'm pretty sure he's read everything about all the dinosaurs. We've been obsessed with Harry Potter. We've been obsessed with baseball. We've been obsessed with football. We bounce kind of back and forth between all those 3 things now. He still loves Harry Potter. He loves baseball. He loves football. And right now he can bounce pretty easily. Before it was like one thing and one thing only. So he's growing quite a bit in that area. Now, I say that to say that he was very obsessed with Patrick Mahomes. I went to Texas Tech way before Patrick Mahomes, and so we have always been a Tech fan. We've always watched the games. We used to live out by Tech after I went to school there. We lived there for a while, and we would go to the games, go to the campus, do different things. So our kiddos have just grown up Red Raider fans, okay? And even though we don't live close to there now, they're still big Tech fans. And like I said, Major, when he gets on a subject, he's on the subject. So he would follow different careers of Tech players, Tech baseball players like Josh Young. I took Major to the College World Series when Tech was there several years ago, and we saw Josh Young and got his autograph and watched him play. And now he's in the minors for the Rangers, and Major just he follows those people. And so, like so many people around the world, becoming obsessed with Patrick Mahomes just because of the type of person that he is and his career, Major also became obsessed with his hair. And so he really, really wanted hair like Patrick Mahomes. And so late January to February of 2020, I told him that he could perm his hair. Like, I don't know what the deal is with these boys' haircuts nowadays, but perms are like a big deal. There's several other trends coming back for boys that I'm like, okay, why? But anyways, they're coming back, and a lot of boys have them. So we kind of sat Major down and talked about, perms are not cheap. I don't know if you've gotten a perm in a while. Probably not. It's 2021. But like I said, boys, it's a thing. I'm like, perms are not cheap. So if we get a perm, you got to take care of it. And just kind of sat him down and told him that. And he was like, yeah. So we ended up letting him get a perm. He actually looks so dang cute. Like, so cute. I'll put a picture up here of his little perm. He only got the top part because his hair wasn't long enough in the back yet to do like the full Mahomes. But he loved it. And so, like I said, that was early 2020, and then we all know what happened in March 2020. The pandemic hit, right? And all of our hairdressers shut down. And Major's hair grows super, super fast. So, like so many people out there, our kiddos got mom and dad haircuts during the pandemic. And since his hair grows so fast and is so thick, and we don't know how to perm hair, we ended up buzzing his hair. And, was he thrilled about that? No, but we told him as soon as we could, as soon as his hair grew back, he could get another perm. And so that's what he did. His hair grew back in like 2 weeks. Not kidding. In about 2 weeks, we were able to shave it into like a mohawk, and he started working on the mohawk so that he could get the full perm the next time that he went. And that's exactly what he did. So by the time school rolled around, he was able to get a full mohawk perm. So he was full Patrick Mahomes style. He loved it. Now, again, we have rules that we make all of our kids follow no matter what. And Major is our most difficult one just because his little fascinating brain works in a little bit of a different way. And so he always tends to give us a little backlash. He always tends to give us a little pushback when he doesn't want to do exactly what we ask him to. And so we're working on that. And I think every kid is teachable. Every moment is a teachable moment with our children. And sometimes they're not always the most fun to do. But I feel like it's my job as a parent to teach them responsibility and accountability. And so this is why we did this with his hair. So Major is not one that worries too much about his appearance. And when I say that, I'm saying like he just throws on whatever he finds. Doesn't care if it necessarily fits all the time. He doesn't really care if he fixes his hair. We're still working on the whole shower. Make sure you clean your feet and all that have to be clean. I'm not 100% sure if that's just a boy thing or if that's just, a Major thing, but we're working on it. So after having several discussions with him about you have to fix your hair, you look a hot mess. If you're not going to fix your hair, I'm not going to continue to shell out $80 to $100 to get it permed. I'm just going to cut it. And I go in and say this because I do want to say that we give them warnings. It's not like we just take them in and we do this drastic thing without ever giving them the chance to do what they need to do. He had plenty of warnings. He knew what was going to come if he didn't do what he needed to do. And he didn't do what he needed to do. So the time came for him to go get his hair done again, and I shaved it off. And I didn't give him a choice. We pulled up to the hair salon, and oh, God bless our little hairdressers. I love them to death. Terry, she's the sweetest. And you could tell it broke her heart to have to shave his head because he was not happy in that chair. He was not happy at all. His little face, his little body language, everything. You knew he was mad. He was mad. And I'm not going to lie and say it didn't break my heart a little. It did. But I knew that is what had to happen. And poor Terry, it broke her heart, his little hairdresser. But she did it. He looked handsome as ever. So sweet. And he straight up told us so when he was done. I said, "Do you like your hair?" And he said, "No." So he's not one that's going to lie to you. And I told him, this is your consequence. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. Mom and Dad have to pay for your hair. And if you don't take care of it, you lose it. And so, he was mad. And I say all that to say that after about an hour at home, he came down on his own, came and gave me a great big hug. And he said, "Mom, I'm sorry. I should have listened. I understand." And I want to say that because it's so hard as parents, especially when they get mad at us and you wonder, did I do the right thing? Am I being too hard on them? Could I have done something better? But trust your instinct. It worked. And the next time he went to get his haircut a few weeks later, because it grows so fast, I said, "Hey, you can leave it longer on the top if you want to grow it back out for another perm." And he said, "No, I want to cut it." And that was completely his choice. He decided to cut it shorter. And so that was a learning moment for both of us. It's just something that they have to learn, that their actions have consequences or reactions. And so I say that to say it is so tough. I know it is. And nobody wants to make their kids angry at them. Nobody wants to do something that's going to break their kiddo's heart. He loved that hair. He was so proud of that hair. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you don't get to keep it. Okay, so that was our lesson learned there. Even though he has, quote unquote, what people might call a disability, I don't see him as being disabled. He is highly capable of doing what he needs to do in all aspects and areas of his life, and we're not going to give him a crutch, ever. We're not going to take it easy on him or the other two, and we're not going to lean into that disability, ever. That's just not how we as a family are going to do it. Now, again, I know that there's a broad range here when we're talking about these things. He's a high-functioning kid. He can do what he needs to do, and he can learn what he needs to learn. And that is why we do what we do. Again, he just got his hair cut again, and he actually got it cut a little bit shorter. And you know what? It's a whole lot less of a fight. It's easier for him to fix his hair in the morning, and it saves me and him sanity because I'm not mad at him or yelling at him to do his hair every day. Is it always easy? No. Do I still have to tell him multiple times a day? Yes. Is it getting better? Yes. And every day we just learn and we just grow from each other. And I'm so thankful that Major's in my life. I'm so thankful that I have the opportunity to learn more about his wonderful mind and to learn what works with us. So this Monday, these are a few things that are my way. I hope it was helpful to you. If you want to learn more about how our family does things, or, just little things that work for us, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I have so many stories of things that I have taught Major and he has taught me and my husband over the years, and I just can't wait to share them with you all. I wish our comments were back on. I would love to know what you guys do. If anybody has a son or a daughter or a situation like ours, and wants to reach out and tell me some things that you did, I'd love to hear it. I think we can always grow from each other and our experiences. So thanks for coming on this adventure with me today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.